morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Morning Rush, the morning empowerment call for busy executives, heart center leaders, causing the change we want to see in the world. It is Thursday morning. It's been a week full of wisdom, proverbs, and today we're talking about counsel, advisors. I'll give you this one from Proverbs 15:22. Plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed. A lot of times we try to do it on our own. Has anybody here ever tried to do everything all on your own, not seeking wisdom, not seeking counsel, not seeking an advisor or two, or somebody who's been there and done that and might have some ideas to share? And we're like, I'm going to figure this out. I don't need anybody. And then all of a sudden, we're not where we want to be. And we probably could have gotten there if we talked to a couple of people and found out a couple of things and put a couple of things into place that somebody there before us has done. I think it's worthy to kind of chart your own course, your own journey, but it's also a good idea to have some people that are alongside you, that are lifting you up, that are mentors, advisors, counsels. Jay Sips, you're my Thursday buddy on these conversations. I know that you seek wise counsel. That's another way to say this message. Like, are we seeking wise counsel? Do we have a coach? Do we have an advisor? Do we have a mentor? Do we have somebody who is assisting us on our journey? How do you feel about this conversation? Do you seek wise counsel?
Good morning, D-Rush. Absolutely. I love where you're going with this. And always, for me, it comes back to, well, actually, I'm looking forward to Sammy. I was about to look at LinkedIn, so I don't want to go too far over there. It is Thursday. We are back. We will not forget these things. It is summer solstice. It is a new season. And I would say, yes, seeking right counsel is always important. Going and finding, like you said, someone who's been there and done that. You know, this always brings me back. Every time you ask me this question, it brings me back to the question you asked me a little over a year and a half ago now. You know, Jay Sip, can I do an Ironman? And I was thinking about that this morning as I was walking on the Stairmaster and not loving it, because I think it's boring, but it's, you know, I have an outcome in mind where I'm going to be moving for 36 hours straight. And so you have to put the work in step by step by step. You have to know what the outcome you're looking to reach is. And while you're looking to reach the outcome, it's usually not very sexy. I mean, Edison tested over 6,000 filaments before he found the right one, and we call him genius. No, he was insanely persistent and committed to a cause. So as you're going and finding the right counsel, first you have the clarity to know where you're getting counsel for. Like, you know where you're going. So that brings me back. That brings me back there. So yes, go find right counsel, go find those things. But really, let's take ownership and know where we're going. What do you want? Because someone in here says, "What do I want instead?" Right? I noticed that this morning too.
Yeah, and what do I want instead? We'd love to know your name, who you are. I see you there, and you've come on and off camera. But I think that's a great point, Jay Sips. You know, sometimes it's like, oh, I should get good counsel. Well, what do I want good counsel for? Where am I going? What are my objectives? What are my challenges? Like, if we have the wrong, I think Peter Swain says this often, like the right information for the wrong situation doesn't really do us much good. Probably says it in a different context, different way. But the thought is like,
do we it with a little bit of an accent too, which always sounds cooler, right? To us at least. So
yeah, I'm working on it. But that's the point, right? Like, if we don't know where we're going, then wise counsel might not necessarily help us, unless the wise counsel is going to help us get to clarity on where we're going. And that might be the counsel you need. Jay Sips, anyone stand out for you if you look back in time? Oh, like this person, this coach, this advisor, this mentor really made a difference for me.
There's a few. I mean, I'm going to go to the big guy, Tony Robbins, right? I mean, that changed my life. Like, just that first time I paid any money to invest in myself in personal development other than a book and Audible and reading and things of that nature was going to my first Unleash the Power Within back in the end of 2019. So it was down in Miami, 2019, and that changed my life forever. And it's been saying yes to those opportunities that come up when it's aligned with what my outcome is. Right. Once I had clarity there, like, you've known, you've been part of my journey, brother. You've seen the different people I've hired, the different things that I've done, but that's the biggest one. I mean, that initial step, I guess maybe the first person you invest in, and then I hired a coach right after that. Or actually, maybe it was the opposite way around. I think I hired the coach and he told me to go to Tony Robbins, and that changed my life. So I think that's how it worked.
And you use the word invest in, like you invested time, you invested money. What's the value? And you actually help people with their investments, but what's the value of somebody investing financially in the thing that they're looking for counsel for? Like, what's the value of actually personally investing something?
I think that's a powerful question. I think it's going to be unique to each person. So I love to hear what other people are thinking on this subject. I was talking to two of my buddies who I ride with a few days a week yesterday morning, and we were talking about this exact thing. I paid someone, a coach, and I went to him. I went to him because I'm like, hey, you've been there, you've done this, you've built a business, you're a father, you've done these different things, you're doing these extreme competitions. Like, I saw someone, I won the model, so I wanted him to be my counsel, but I want to make it an official relationship. And so I ended up paying $15,000 for 5 months, which was a total of 5 hours. So $15,000 for 5 hours. And my friends were like, what? Well, what'd you get out of it? What was that? And I said, well, one of the biggest things I got out of it was me investing in myself to go and ask and be responsible to learn the things I wanted to learn from that individual. And it started what I'm doing this afternoon. It started at 3 p.m. webinars I'm doing, right? Today, we'll be talking about, like you talked about, investment. A lot of we have this belief, I'm going to go off track a little bit. We have this belief that we're supposed to make money and then invest money so it works for us. But 95% of people are in credit card debt. 2,500 conversations I've had, it's about debt. And we're missing the middle piece. Like, if you don't know what to invest in the debt to not be in debt. So to come back to what you're saying, it's the value of investing in yourself, I think, is the biggest piece for me. Like, whatever you're willing to pay and show yourself, hey, I'm worth $15,000 for 5 hours or $100,000 or whatever that price point is that you're comfortable with. And when you get past that point, there's probably a rule there, right? There's probably a rule there that you don't feel like you're worthy of investing more than that. So you're on mute, which is,
like,
no one ever does that. No.
There's the idea of skin in the game sometimes. Like, you put your chips in, like you kind of put something of value in place so that you will commit and fulfill. And sometimes that's monetary, sometimes that's otherwise. But what do you got? You got a key caveat, Mr. Swain? What I see, wait. I kind of agree. Let's come in with some truth here.
I think Jason's missed one thing, which I know he knows, and I know that we all know, and it gets missed so many times. You can pay to join Weight Watchers. You can pay to join my AI mastermind. You can pay a coach. You can pay a thing. You can buy a sleep supplement. You can invest anywhere from $10 to 10 million. But if you don't do the work, it doesn't work. There are so many in my life, but I run a mastermind of 220 people, and I see so many people, they pay me between $200 and $10,000 a month. And there is no correlation of how much they pay to the results they get. I have people paying me 10K that are getting nothing because they don't do the work. And I have people paying me 200 that rinse every single drop of juice out of what I give them and accelerate and get results. So I don't disagree with anything Jay said at all. And you got to do the work. Doesn't matter what piece of equipment you buy, who you get a coach from, you got to do the work.
Amen.
Right now.
Amen. You got to know where you're going, Peter Swain. This is why I actually stopped living in the world of coaching. I had like 15 to 20 people directly coaching plus groups. And most of the people do not do what they say they're going to do. And every week it's like, well, what the fuck, dude? Like, what the fuck? You just told me last week you want this more than anything else, but you had to bring your dog to the vet and you had to do this and that and something else. Life's always going to happen, dude. You got to do the work, period.
And the 2-minute story, and then D-Rush, I'm mindful of our conversation, but the 2-minute story is I once met a guy that wrote a very, very famous diet book, and I got him drunk and said to him, what do you know that I don't know? And he said, eat less, move more. He's like, the entire book could be summarized as eat less, move more. I'm like, then why didn't you write that? And he went, number one, no one would have bought the damn book if I just wrote eat less and move more on one page. I'd have got 0 sales. Number two, you're under the impression that the diet industry exists to help you lose weight. It does not exist to help you lose weight. It exists so that you can blame it when it doesn't work, because it's easier to blame the book or the diet than it is to admit you didn't do the work. And I was like, holy shit, the reason people pay J-Sips for coaching, the reason people pay me for AI is to have the excuse inside them that they did the thing they were supposed to do instead of actually doing the thing they're supposed to do.
All right, well, let's do the thing we're supposed to do now on the Morning Rush, and we're going to go to breakout rooms. And doing the work in the breakout rooms means answering the question. We've got some questions today. Who are your top 3 advisors or counselors? And what's one thing you would benefit from counsel or advice? We're going into the breakout room. See you all on the other side. If you're new to this conversation, we do this for about 10 minutes. You'll be with 2 or 3 other people, and you're going to have some fun dialogue. Please focus on the task at hand. See you on the other side. Rooms are open now.